Australia is halving the number of people allowed into the country from overseas following leaks in its COVID quarantine system. The weekly intake will be cut to around 3,000 people and residents remain banned from leaving the country. Nearly half the population, more than 12 million people, are now under stay-at-home orders. From Sydney, Shaima Khalil has more.
If you're an Australian stranded overseas, this is not the news you wanted to wake up to. From the middle of July, the already very complicated journey for thousands trying to get home is about to get more difficult.
To temporarily reduce commercial inbound passenger arrivals to all major ports by 50% from current caps to reduce the pressure on quarantine facilities due to the increased risks of the Delta strain of the virus.
Australia already has very tight border restrictions. Anyone who comes in has to go into hotel quarantine first. These really have been the two lines of defense for the country and what has allowed it to contain the spread of COVID-19, but they have not been without controversy. Many, especially those separated from their families, have criticized the border closures. They've also criticized the government making exemptions for athletes or celebrities at times. Others have asked how long this can go on for, how sustainable it is for Australia to effectively seal itself off from the world. There have also been virus leaks from hotel quarantine, and they have resulted in a number of outbreaks here. And of course, there is the Delta variant. It is spreading far quicker than anticipated here, and it is posing a big challenge for health officials around the country. The biggest cluster is here in Sydney, where I am, where we're going into our second week of lockdown. Remember, this is a completely different picture in a country where only a few weeks ago, life seemed to be going back to near normal here. Now, things have changed quite quickly. Now, what makes things quite difficult as well is the low rate of vaccinations. Less than 8% of the population have taken their jab. And there are a number of reasons for this. Yes, there is complacency because Australia has done so well. There is hesitancy among some people, but there's also been a lack of a consistent, urgent government message for people to get vaccinated. There's been a number of issues with supply, especially for the Pfizer jab, and mixed messaging around the AstraZeneca vaccine and which age groups should go for it. All of it makes for a confused, shambolic picture when it comes to the vaccine rollout. This is really what the government is trying to change right now with this four-phase pathway to zero COVID, because as it stands, Australia's COVID success story is looking rather vulnerable.